Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be discussing about 6 players who desperately need a change of scenery this transfer window. Let's get into it. Number 1 on this list is Joao Felix. After Antoine Griezmann's blockbuster move to Barcelona in 2019, Atletico Madrid splashed the cash and snapped up one of Europe's brightest talents at the time in Joao Felix. In the 3 years since his arrival in Madrid, Joao Felix has hardly set the world alight, with consistent injury struggles and a tactical system that doesn't suit him comfortably. Joao Felix is in danger of ruining a promising career. At 22 years of age, he will still move on to bigger and better things, but with the $141 million price tag on his head, Atletico will definitely require at least half of his original price in order for a move to happen. Moves to Chelsea and Tottenham have been rumoured, but as of now, the future remains unclear for the dazzling Portuguese forward. Number 2 is Ox-Chamberlain. Ox-Chamberlain was once seen as the future of English football. He made his debut for England in a friendly against Norway at the age of 18 and was England's second youngest appearance maker, only behind Wayne Rooney, a record only surpassed recently by Borussia Dortmund midfielder Jude Bellingham. After a couple seasons at Arsenal, he signed with Liverpool in 2017 for £35 million. Ox-Chamberlain, who was 23 at the time, was seen as the future of Liverpool's midfield. He started slowly but gradually settled into the team. In particular, he enjoyed an excellent period of form in the second half of the 2017-18 season, with the highlight of that period being his absolute thunderbolt of a goal against Man City in the Champions League. But just when things seemed perfect, tragedy struck. An injury against Roma in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final meant he would be ruled out of first-team action for the next 12 months. Ox-Chamberlain by default would miss out on participating in England's World Cup campaign in Russia, and his absence from the Liverpool squad will force the squad to act in the transfer market. The club will sign Naby Keita and Fabinho in the transfer window, and it's fair to say things haven't been the same ever since. His last England cap was against Kosovo in November of 2019, and he has occupied the role of more of a cup player/impact sub in Jurgen Klopp's system. Although he has won quite a few trophies with the club, you can't help but feel that after 5 seasons, a change of scenery would greatly benefit his prospect of getting back into the England squad. A move to a mid-table would be ideal, perhaps Crystal Palace or a more ambitious side like Leicester. Although of all his options, perhaps a move to Newcastle would be the most attractive. With Newcastle's newfound riches, negotiating a fee wouldn't be difficult, and he could adjust and excel in Eddie Howe's system. At the age of 28, now is the time for Chamberlain to make a move if he has any hope of making something more of his footballing career. Number 3 is Gini Wijnaldum. Gini Wijnaldum has endured a very difficult start to life as French champions PSG. He has featured considerably less compared to his time at Liverpool. He has made only 38 appearances in all competitions, with 13 of those being from the bench, averaging about 53 minutes on the field for the Parisians, and despite having years of experience in Champions League and against some of Europe's top teams, he was unused in both legs of the round of 16 tie against Real Madrid. A disappointing season culminated in his omission from the New Zealand squad for the first time in nearly 7 years. The panic around his omission is heightened by the rise of fellow internationals like Noah Lang, Cody Gakpo, and Jedi Charlton. Armin van Gaal's reported obsession of his players having playing time at their domestic clubs. If things do not change for Wijnaldum at PSG, there is a real possibility of him missing out on the squad for the Qatari World Cup. Moves to Arsenal and Atletico were touted in January, but perhaps a move to a former club would be suitable for Wijnaldum. Moves to Newcastle, Feyenoord and PSV could be on the cards, and a move back to the Netherlands would be quite attractive. PSV and Feyenoord are both expected to compete in some form of European competition next season, and so both clubs could be attracted to Gini. But with €165,000 per week in wages, perhaps a loan move would be more ideal for whatever club eventually signs him. Number 4 on this list is Marco Asensio. At the age of 26, it's fair to say that Marco Asensio hasn't had the career many envisioned for him. In a star-studded but aging Real Madrid squad, his consistent injury troubles mean he isn't seen as a key player and is behind the likes of Rodrigo and Valverde on the team sheet. Had Kylian Mbappe been signed in June, Asensio would have certainly been shipped out of the club, but with the departure of Gareth Bale, Marco Asensio could be faced with a sort of crossroads over his future. He has enjoyed his best goal scoring season to date with 12 goals across 42 appearances in all competitions. At the age of 26, he has won pretty much everything in Spain, and as he enters his prime, perhaps it's time for him to set his sights on creating a name for himself abroad. Napoli seemed like a suitable destination for the Spanish winger. With the departure of Lorenzo Insigne, Asensio could look to become the new face of Naples. He has the ability to inject some much needed star power into the squad and could look to form a partnership with Victor Osimhen, akin to the relationship between Higuain and the aforementioned Insigne. Number 5 on this list is Nicolas Pepe. It's fair to say that Nicolas Pepe's move to Arsenal has been a failed experiment. The winger arrived at the Emirates with heavy expectations on his shoulders, largely due to the large price tag on his head. In the 3 years since his arrival, he has been largely underwhelming, and with the rise of Bukayo Saka and the signing of Gabriel Jesus, at the age of 27, Pepe is deemed surplus to requirements at the Emirates. A return to Ligue 1 has been rumoured, but at the moment he looks more likely to go on loan to an unnamed club in Spain's first division. It's fair to say though that if a transfer is to happen, it will be nowhere near the $72 million originally spent on acquiring him. Number 6 and the last person on this list is Emmy Dennis. 24-year-old Nigerian forward was one of Watford's better performers in a very disappointing season in the Premier League. Although with Champions League experience under his belt and still being relatively young, Dennis could be on his way out of the club. It has been rumoured that he would likely tread a similar path as one of his predecessors at Vicarage Road, with Richarlison having departed Everton for Tottenham. Emmy Dennis could be a like-for-like replacement for the Brazilian forward. With the both forwards having contributed 10 goals in the Premier League over a similar number of appearances, a $30 million fee has been rumoured and would seem like this a reasonable business for both sides. Okay guys, that's the list. Are there any other players you think should be leaving their clubs this summer? Let me know in the comments down below, and I hope to see you in the next video.